Gamers, what is up, fellow gamers? It's me, I'm back. We're back here on the DX Online channel, and today I wanted to give a little bit of a personal talk about something that recently happened. I actually went to a concert last night. I went to go see JPEG Mafia and Jane Remover, and no joke, the mosh pit was so intense that I had to get out. I fucking climbed over because I was getting dehydrated. I'm pretty sure I have a concussion because I got hit in the back of the head with an elbow. And yeah, overall it was a fucking great experience. I really did like it. It was an insane concert. Peggy's one of the best performers probably of our generation. Jane Remover was also great. I went with a friend, and I feel a little bad because I don't know if my friend wanted to stay in that mosh pit. That mosh pit was really intense. That shit was crazy, and I don't know if he wanted to stay in it, but when I left, he pretty much left as well, the mosh pit. We stayed for the rest of the concert. We watched it and listened, and yeah, Peggy's a great performer. But I got about 3 or 4 songs into Peggy's part, and I was in the mosh pit, and it just got to be a lot. It was everyone was kind of moving around, and you can't really stand up or like really move around when you're in that kind of shit. And I've never really been to a mosh pit before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I thought it was great. If I had prepared a little bit more, I think I would have been fine, but I had to leave the mosh pit, dude. That was just getting so fucking crazy. Overall, it was awesome, though. I really did enjoy it. It was a great concert. And yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit here about just the experience, really music in general, and I wanted to kind of give a little bit of a shout out to a Jane Remover, because Jane Remover, great artist. I think I'd listened to a few Jane Remover albums before I went to the show, and they were all really good. And yeah, Jane Remover is a great live performer. I would highly recommend that if she's opening for a show, you definitely go see it if it's near you. It was great. And yeah, JPEG Mafia, obviously, I just said, probably one of my favorite rappers, probably my second favorite. And yeah, I really like JPEG Mafia. But I guess that we're done talking about that. Now I do want to talk about video games again, because that's what the majority of this channel has been talking about, and more specifically I want to talk about the PS4 and really why that is probably going to be the pinnacle of gaming for a little bit. You know, I don't think that we're going to get really a console that is going to have as much impact as the PS4 did for a little bit. Again, I've always said this on my channel. I say this with about every single video that I'm really negative on. But I would be happy to be wrong here. I really would. I would love if the PS6 or the Series XL, XS, XXX, whatever the fuck Microsoft's gonna make. It's gonna be some retarded name though for their new Xbox consoles. I would love if they were amazing and they had a ton of games out and exclusives, you know, if there was competition again. But I think just with the state of the economy right now and the entire world, really, because we're 4 years out from COVID, and the economy's never really looked worse. I mean, maybe it did like a long time ago whenever I wasn't fucking around, because I'm a young buck myself, and I don't know, man. I don't really have a whole lot of optimism for a thing like that to happen, just because of how bad the economy is. I think that we're still gonna just keep getting drained for money for at least a few more years, and as much as that sucks, I think it's just the reality that we have to accept, that it's gonna be a little bit before we get a console that really hits as hard as the PS4 did, or even the Switch for that case. I don't feel like Microsoft has even tried in the last few years. Really, in the last entire 2 console generations, I just think Microsoft has always kind of slacked behind, just because they put such a big importance on PC gaming as well, that they kind of neglect their console and don't really give it a whole lot of exclusives, which really sucks, because I feel like the hardware is so good that it's prime hardware for amazing exclusives that really will sell these systems. But Microsoft just doesn't want to invest in it. I just think that's a shame. Sony's tried a little more, in my opinion. Now, still, the first-party output hasn't been amazing from Sony, especially this generation. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I get it. There's complications. But, I mean, we recently just saw Concord, and that is the biggest failure in all of video games ever. And it was a $400 million disaster. That is just insane to me, that they're spending so much money and they're expecting so much to come back in that they're kind of forgetting what video games are even about. They're about fun. I mean, you should not be spending that much fucking money to make a game. $400 million for Concord? That game looks like it was made by a guy in Unity in like 2 weeks. That game looks like absolute dog shit. But, you know, I'm probably being a little too negative on Concord, but I really do think it deserves it. I think it looks like dog shit. I think there's a reason nobody played it, and I think that the failure of Concord is ultimately a W for gamers, because hopefully, this is probably not what's going to happen, but hopefully that shows the rest of the industry, all these big titans of the industry that want to spend so much money to make games, that maybe you should start focusing on a little bit more single player, hopefully. I mean, single player, it doesn't need to be single player, but quality games that don't cost a ton of money to make. I've heard this argument said before, and as weird as it kind of sounds at first, I genuinely do agree with it. And it's the argument that people want games that are shorter and have, you know, don't have as as good of graphics or whatever, and just are not these giant bloated open world or live service type shit games where it just feels like so much of it is bloat that is just making you basically trying to keep you in the game for as long as it can. I think that is awful game design. I think that's just terrible business practice, because eventually people are going to get worn out. Now, there are cases where there's games that just people don't want to stop playing, like Fortnite and Siege, I guess, but those are so rare, and I don't think that these companies should really be trying to make the next Siege or Fortnite where they're banking on it being this giant, like, live service cash cow that will just bring them money for years and years. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that will be the case. I hope that game developers can learn that we don't want that shit. We want quality games. Multiplayer, single player, it doesn't matter. I'm just tired of this live service shit, and I'm sure that most people probably are by now, because it's been a standard in the industry for probably 15 years. Not 15 years. Fuck, what did I just say? About 10 years. I was thinking like 2015. That's kind of the year, in my opinion, that it really all started, is about 2015 maybe. It's been a standard for about 10 years, and I hope it dies. I really do. And I hope Ubisoft shuts down, because Ubisoft is very clearly not making efforts to make good games, and they're very anti-consumer. And in my opinion, if these companies aren't for us, then they are against us. So from the bottom of my heart, I hope that Ubisoft gets shut down, hopefully before the end of the year. I think that'd be great. And before people go and say, oh, they're losing jobs, we should feel bad for the developers. I don't feel bad at all, man. They made dog shit games. If you're not going to make good games and put in the effort, you deserve to lose your jobs. So yeah, I'm glad the consumers have spoken, though, at least with Star Wars Outlaws. And yeah, I really pray that if Ubisoft doesn't actually want to try and make good games and make money the actual way, by making a good product that people will buy, because that is how you make money. These developers, for some reason, are trying to deny it. But when you make a good product that people want to play, then you are absolutely going to get money for it. The Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, I mean, there's a few more. There's not a whole lot of examples, because these games that come out now are so horrible, and it's very clear no one tried. Resident Evil 4 Remake's a good example too. That game was really good, but I think when Phil Spencer said at one time in an interview or something, was like, if we just make good games, it doesn't guarantee success. Like, yeah, it does, you fucking retard. Don't try to act like it doesn't. You just don't want to put in the effort and money to make good games. But then you'll go and spend $400 million, well, Sony will, on this dog shit live service first-person shooter slop game that no one wants to fucking play. And it's just like, are you... Like, do you even know what consumers want anymore? They're not making games anymore, they're making products, and they're trying to just siphon money out of people, and it's fucking embarrassing for the entire industry. And yeah, I'm tired of acting like these developers should be given a pass, you know, because they work bad working conditions, and like the developers are complicit with the shit they make. It's not like these higher ups are, yeah, in a lot of cases the higher ups are making them add shit that they don't want to add, well, you know, like microtransactions. I'm sure a lot of them don't, but at the end of the day, it's not like they're making good games. A lot of these games that I'm referencing are horrible. Star Wars Outlaws, horrible, dude. Concord, horrible. Like, we shouldn't just be letting the developers get away with it, because then that signals to the rest of the industry, like, these games were good until the microtransactions came in. Like, they weren't. Quit trying to kid yourself. You're an idiot if you're thinking that. Yeah, but I'm getting really ranty here. It's been 11 minutes. I've just been ranting about nothing. Again, probably incoherent, because that's how all these fucking videos are that I make. But yeah, at the end of the day, the PS4, I was gonna talk about the PS4. The PS4 had a lot of good first party shit, and that's really what I feel like the PS5 is lacking. Can we get some first party exclusive games that are actually well made, quality shit that people very clearly put effort and time into? Like, the PS4 had so many of those, dude. Bloodborne is like one of the best games ever made, and that game is still locked to the PS4. I would, like, you guys know, I'm probably you guys probably know I'm very opposed to constantly just re-releasing games and making money, but dude, Bloodborne deserves a remake. That game is still in 30 FPS. Like, what are they doing with that shit, man? Like, come on, release it. Release like an updated version. Dude, the PS4 had like all these insane exclusives. It had Persona 5, God of War 1, or the God of War 4 technically. The first Horizon, which I know a lot of people don't like. I don't really like it either. Actually, people probably do like it. I just don't think I like it. But we got like the Uncharted games, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Rebirth is like the only game this entire PS5 first party generation that I feel like has actually pushed boundaries forward and been an amazing like masterpiece. If you haven't played that and you have a PS5, you should definitely play it. It's one of the only games I would recommend getting a PS5 specifically to play. It is that good. Ghost of Tsushima on the PS4. I know a lot of people say that that game is kind of like a Ubisoft open world game. I don't really think it is. I think it's a lot more unique than that. I don't think Ghost of Tsushima gets enough credit for how artistic it actually was in a lot of ways. Yeah, the story was story and characters were kind of basic, I guess, yeah, but I mean the gameplay was really fun in my opinion. I thought the combat was great. I thought the world was great. I thought the artistic style was absolutely incredible. One of the best looking games ever made, still to this day. And I haven't even played the 60 FPS version. I played the 30 FPS version. That game looked like a fucking dream. If you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima and you have a PS4, man, for sure go play Ghost of Tsushima. It's a great game. I would highly recommend it. And I mean, there's definitely a lot more that I didn't list here, but dude, the PS4 just had such good first-party output, and so did Nintendo, dude. Like I said, I was going to reference Nintendo or the Switch in this video, and yeah, I am, because the Switch is absolutely the console for first-party shit, and that's not even like a new-gen console. That game was around when the PS4 came out, or not really when it came out, 3 years after it came out, but that console has still been out for 7 years, and it's just like, it's crazy, dude. We got Super Mario Odyssey, we got The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. We got that Kirby game I didn't play either, but it did look really good. Fire Emblem, bro, it's like Smash, dude. It's like the Switch is killing it. The PS4 killed it. Where is that competition with Xbox, and where is that competition with the PS5? Like, dude, Xbox, I don't even want to talk about the Xbox output, because the Xbox output is so dog shit. There's absolutely fucking nothing coming out for that goddamn system. So at this point, I think that Xbox is a lost cause. I don't think that Xbox will ever get good exclusives, and as pessimistic as that is, I genuinely do believe it. I would love to be wrong, man. I would love for the next Xbox to have a ton of good exclusives, but I just don't see it. I don't think that they're even capable of making them anymore. So, I mean, I guess that's a long-winded way of saying, please bring competition back in these first-party consoles, dude. I am fucking begging you. All these gamers are begging you. These people that actually play games, not just these lobotomized troglodytes that all they do is play NBA 2K or Fortnite or these live service slop shit games. I'm talking about the people that actually want these exclusives and want to play good games. Like, dude, if you make good games, the money will come to you. You don't have to spend $400 million to make a good game. Just have the passion, have the team that wants to actually put in the work and do it. And like, it's so, I can't imagine it could be this hard, because we had a good lineup for several years. We had it in the PS2, we had it in the PS1, we had it in the PS3 era, we had it in the 360 era, dude, especially. We had it in the PS4 era. The Xbox One never got exclusives. Nintendo still gives their console exclusives, like, that are crazy good. I mean, I don't know what the fucking issue is, Sony. I don't know what the issue is, Microsoft. You guys have been pumping these consoles out for $500 fucking dollars. Now the PS5 Pro doesn't even come with a disc drive, and you're asking $700. But what is genuinely, what is the point of getting a PS5 Pro? There is no point. That's the answer. There is no fucking point, because there are no actual games that are system sellers on there anymore. There really aren't. They haven't made, they've already said they're not making games this year. So, like, why? Why would we buy that? It's so stupid. It's so anti-consumer, and just, if you buy the PS5 Pro, you're an idiot. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care if you're a YouTuber. If you buy it, you're an absolute moron, and you should maybe invest in the S&P 500 or something, dude. Do anything with your money better than buying a PS5 Pro. It's just supporting this, and Sony is getting really cocky with their, I think really that might be it, is the cockiness, because they know Xbox ain't doing shit. Xbox is putting out fucking negative games, and I don't know why they don't see the Switch as a competitor. I guess because it's not powerful and they think it's probably made for kids, but dude, like, I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I think that this is probably going to be the last console Microsoft ever makes, because nobody cares at this point. If you buy an Xbox just for the exclusives, or you think that it's, I mean, dude, if you buy any of these consoles really that are next gen, the PS5 or Series X, you're already kind of putting a dent in your wallet. I'm very guilty of it. But the Series X has its uses, I guess. It's backwards compatibility and stuff, which, I mean, I guess, if that's your thing. But I personally want new first-party games. I don't want to play the same shit over and over and over again. As good as some of the older games are, which I would recommend playing a lot of these older games, I don't think that buying a console specifically just made for backwards compatibility for $500 is necessarily a good investment. So, Microsoft, release exclusives again, and I feel like if Microsoft does it and they actually like put in effort and they try to make competition, Sony will get the message. Sony will eventually, they'll be like, oh shit, we got competition, we better make exclusives now. Like, Microsoft, dude, come on, do it. Just make exclusives, and then Sony will for sure follow in your footsteps, because then there will be competition. And if there's one thing these corporations don't want, they don't want you to not spend money. They want you to spend money on their slop shit, and the best way to do that is make more competition. So, Microsoft, make more games for the Series X. Don't just make a PC game and then put it on Series X, or a Series X game and then put it on PC. Don't do that shit. Please, just make actual first-party games. Sony, you gotta do the same. But Sony's not going to do it if Microsoft doesn't. And I don't know about any of you, but I would personally love to see competition. I would love it if we had the PS4 era, like, actual competition. Because the PS4 was going against the Switch, and I don't know why the PS5 isn't trying to go against Nintendo now, because they probably know they won. But, yeah, I think that hopefully, and this is my opinion, hopefully, when the new Nintendo console comes out and all these first-party games are crazy. Hopefully then Sony will see that there is competition for that console and that people are going to buy that because of all the new crazy first-party shit. Hopefully then Sony will actually start pumping out brand new, like actual brand new first-party exclusives, brand new IPs that are great for the PS5. And hopefully by the end of it, because this did happen with the PS3, hopefully by the end of it the PS5 comes out of the generation as a console that goes down in history as one that is actually like worth getting, that has a good exclusive library, like the PS4 did, like the PS3 did, like the PS2 did. I really hope that's the case. I don't know if there's any saving the Series X. It's just you only get the Series X to play third-party games because there's just nothing first-party that comes out for it. And you get the Switch if you're intelligent. So yeah, I guess that's about it, guys. This was another rambling video, but yeah, if you listened to this all the way to the end, I really appreciate you. Make sure to drop a comment if you want to talk. I always respond to my comments. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one.